Hello, everybody. Good evening again. And today, happy Mother's Day to those who are here and those who are going to watch this video after this. Now, today we're going to speak about a very important subject, women, motherhood. Now, we have to understand that the first principle is this: mothers are made in the image of the mother of creation. Okay, having said that, now what does that mean? I mean, on earth, it's a mother who gives life to us all. It's a mother that nurtures the baby within the womb and gives a passageway to come to this world. She is the creative force on earth. What we men do, I mean, men are equally important in the sense that they put the seed. But the question here is this: it is not the man who actually has the baby for 9 months. It is not important for the man to have a healthy womb. It is important for him to help his wife have a healthy womb, his partner. Because today, in this environment that it's a very toxic environment we live in, a very difficult environment. In that, most people are affected by the mental pollution of mental pollution that we have on earth. And this infection is getting into every area of people's life. Today I watched a video by accident, and they're talking about the coronavirus and the vaccine, how it's affecting women as well. Now the thing is this: now what are we going to do to prevent ourselves, to help us find a new way to this world? Patriarchal rule has done a lot of damage to Mother Earth, nature, and to women. Now, instead of worshipping a woman, they are abusing her. Not every man, but a lot of them are. And then also women, do they want to be worshipped, or they want to be honored without, or they want to be abused? Now, when you're very nice to a woman, she takes the upper hand. When you're very nice to a man, he also takes an upper hand. So the question is this: we have lost our purpose. We have lost the direction that we need to go. The direction we need to go is to find our way back to why Mother Nature created a man and a woman. Why does a woman have the womb? Now, today I also read in some person got raped. A woman got raped. Now, and these are people who are in the political arena. They're supposed to represent the people. Yet they are caught doing the wrong thing. Now, when you abuse a woman, you're abusing your own mother. And the biggest sin is to abuse your mother. Because every woman represents motherhood. So you can't say, I love my mother, but it's okay to abuse another woman. No, if you abuse a woman, you don't love your mother either. Because if you love your mother, then you love womanhood and motherhood. So now, having said all that, how do we change the world? How do we change? The only way we can change is if women wake up and decide to empower themselves. to actually stand out there and say, I am stronger than what society thinks we are, or the system thinks. Not society, but the system. Now, strength doesn't come by being a feminist, where you fight. No, you don't fight. You go back to grace. You go back. When you are in power, you are grace. You never fight. Because you know what? At the end of it, you're the mother. You're the mother for the men, and you're the mother for the women. Unfortunately, the system has so much, they've disempowered women so much that women are not capable of being a great first guru. So basically, they only can give the children what they have been given. So there is always this emotional gap there. And that gap is what the problem today is in our society. We cannot have that happening to us. We cannot keep living the way we have been living. We have to change. If we don't change, the coronavirus is only a small thing. This is going to go on. Today, I also read what the Chinese did. Some rocket went up to the moon, went up to space thing, and then it broke down and it came back to Earth. Thank God, I didn't hear any news of any major things happening because of that. But we're polluting the world. We polluted the earth. Now we're polluting the skies. We polluted the skies, and then we're polluting the space as well. So when are we going to stop? Mind you, this is the nature of man, not woman. When a woman is in grace, she moves in harmony with nature. So she serves nature. Okay, she doesn't go and abuse nature. We need to start a movement. We need to start a movement that says, okay, it's not about feminism. It's about grace, divinity, and the goodness of women. We need women to wake up. We need women to become empowered. Because if you don't get empowered, the whole future generation is going to suffer. Because you are the life giver and you're also the first guru. We already have enough of gurus around the world that goes around giving the wrong information as well. One of my students posted a video where the Prime Minister of India and SADHGURU were both at the Shivaratri celebration, and they wore shoes all the way to where they were worshipping. Took off the shoe for a few minutes and put the shoes on and started. They're going to do prayer for Shivaratri all night, and they can't give up their shoes for a day, for not even a day, for the hours that they're going to be there. So if a guru does that, and he is a very powerful one, he's known all over the world. He's done a lot of good work, but this is the fundamental thing. Because when you leave your shoes at the doorway, even your house, or in the temple, or in a prayer place, you leave your ego behind. Forget about the worm, germs, and hygiene, and everything else. But you leave behind your ego. That is principally what the tantric teaching is that the Hindus around the world are meant to follow. And so are the Muslims. They also do the same thing. And they are trained to take off the shoes at the entrance of their prayer place. They're trained to wash their legs, hands, face. So that what you do is you leave behind at the door your ego, everything. You wash away everything and go and say, I come in pureness and I pray in pureness. What happened to that purity? Today, if you watch Indian movies now, you find the actors are walking around the house with shoes on. They are role models for the public. And that role model is getting bad. And then you have SADHGURU doing the same thing. And that's not very good. So we have to start being serious about life. We got to be serious. We need to grow. Each one of you out there, okay, that is teaching sound, teaching Tantra, teaching the beauty of mother, working with wombs. You know, there's a lot of people that claim to work with the womb of a woman. Now, the question is when you want to work with the womb, then you ask the question, what is the power that makes this happen? Okay? What is the union that happens within the womb that gives a soul a passageway? Now, giving a passageway is one thing. Are you giving a healthy passageway is another thing. Are the divine architects within the womb empowered to do the work? Now, if they're all filled with a lot of emotional clouds around the womb, then they can't function. Now, there's those who claim to serve the needs of women, who serve, who say, we do womb healing, this, that, and the other. Do they know the architects? Do they know the sound of the architects? Okay, what creates clouds in the womb is the voice, which is sound. Okay, the way you use your voice, the way you speak, everything you say and do, there's two nadis that travel down your body. It goes from your throat chakra right up to the second chakra. So if you get angry, you're sending angry information into the womb. If you're happy, you send happy information into the room. But when you know the sound of the divine architects within the womb, like, imagine the elves, they're making little dolls. The same thing these divine architects do within your womb. Then you have to ask yourself, what are they doing? Who is doing this? Okay, those who have learned Tantra or learned with me realize that the 10 wisdom goddesses are there. Now, just doing the 10 wisdom goddesses mantra is not good enough. Like if you say, Om Kreem, 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 you're not sending the energy anywhere. It's not about feeling good. It's not about feeling good is important, okay? But it's not about, when you think in terms of empowering the womb, you can't just think about just feeling good. You need the power to move within the womb. Having said that, you need to know the right frequency of sound that you send to the womb and how to work with the womb. Now, on Mother's Day, what's more important today is not so much whether you're doing womb work or whatever it is. We need women to stop and think, what's my purpose on this earth? Okay? Do I need to fight like a man? Do I need to... See, your womb power, that's a nice saying, I cannot live with a woman and I can't live without her. Now, the reason I cannot live with a woman is basically there's a continuous war of the sexes. War of sexes is happening because we don't understand ourselves. There's nothing to do with the other person. There's nothing wrong with a man, nothing wrong with a woman. So there's nothing to fight about other than what is wrong within ourselves. Okay, the pattern that we attract is what we are. We attract energy that comes to us as to how we believe who we are. Like if you have an abusive father, you might end up getting an abusive boyfriend. If you have an abusive mother, you may end up, for a man, an abusive woman as well, because that's the type of woman you want to be with. For a woman, that's the type of man you want to be with. So you go into the same cycle. Now we need to stop the cycle. So to stop the cycle, you need to empower yourself. You need to forget this thing that, okay, you need to wear pants, you need to be successful, you need the job, you need this, that, and the other. There's no need here. You were not created for all of those things. You have a more important job than any man could dream of having. And your job they can never fulfill. But if you wear the pants like a man, you're never going to fulfill it either. Because then you stop being a true woman. Then you're a biological woman. So you got to stop being a biological person. And you have to decide, okay, first thing is this, you have to go into celibacy. Okay? If you don't have a lover, you go into celibacy until you find yourself. If you're in a relationship, you try to understand what you can give to the relationship. What are you going to contribute to the relationship? More than what the relationship can give you, because the relationship can't give you anything. Nobody can make you happy. Nobody can give you what you don't have. Because if you can't have what you don't have, how can somebody else give you that which you don't have? What you don't have, you got to find it. You got to have it. It's got to come from you, not from somebody else. Not from your partner. Be it a man or a woman. You can't get it from your partner. You can only get it from yourself. So for Mother's Day, my advice is, men, start learning that every woman represents motherhood. So if you love your mother, you learn to love women. If you serve your mother well, because she served you from the day you were born, then your turn now is to serve women, serve your partner like your mother served you. Hopefully, you had a very good mother who tried her best to give you the best to whatever knowledge or capacity she had in giving you. So but today you are learning something new. You are learning that you have a responsibility. Remember also that when you abuse a woman, you're abusing yourself as well, because half of you is female. In us, There is the man, which is the male, which is the right side, and female, that's the left side. So within every man, there is a woman and there is a man. So when you abuse something outside of you, you're abusing yourself. So stop abusing yourself. Stop being abused either. We cannot go on living the way we are living. The world is coming to a stage where life is not as easy as it should be. Okay, there's more to life. And life can be very beautiful, absolutely beautiful, absolutely empowering. Mantras can make you go into a different dimension more than anyone else can do it for you. Think of the mantras. Think of how you're going to sing the mantras. And share it with your friends. So that in sharing you grow. Because when you reach out to give, you also receive a lot. And then there's another thing. I've just decided I have the School of Hindu Tantra where I charge. Then there is another platform that I'm going to start. I mean, I've already started, but I left it sitting for a while. It's Womb Shakti. And that one I'm going to offer it for free. Anyone can join it for free and learn whatever I post there instead of doing it on Facebook. I've slowly, I'm not so active in Facebook in terms of writing articles or teachings anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to offer it at Boom Shakti. I would post it on Facebook the next few days, the website, and then I'll start getting active again to post some articles to do with the Boom Shakti. We need every young woman who wants to start a family to learn about herself, about her womb, about her vagina. And it's also important for men to learn about the womb, about a woman's, the power within the womb that can actually help them find moksha, find liberation. That is why, I mean, before we didn't have, what is this? Sannyasis that are not married. It's only through the coming of Buddhism that in India they started having sannyasis, which Adi Shankar, I think, few 2,000 years ago, he introduced monasteries and sannyasis who are meant to be celibate. Life is a union, dance between male and female. It's a Shiva Shakti dance. Life is all about Shiva Shakti dance. And that means you don't go into being a celibate. You live life, okay? So being with a partner it's a great divine thing. But before you can get into being with a partner, is your partner going to be on your path, journeying with you, okay? And feeling that energy within you. Okay, that feeling is important. Okay? That feeling of wanting to be alive. The feeling of wanting to give Mother Earth something back. But the most important thing, okay, forget about, let's be selfish. Even if you're selfish, be selfishly unselfish. Because if you focus on yourself being divine, then the world is going to be divine as well. So that's the way being selfish, but yet selfishly unselfish. Because the final focus is everything around you becomes beautiful. Only you can save this world. If you have any concern for the future generations and yourself, then you have to take a move to change. It's not about going and doing, going to satsangs and doing yoga. You can't train yourself. You can't be trained. You can only experience life. So you got to choose. Do you want to experience life? Do you want to give your life the best you can? And it best is not by being in a relationship. Best is when you can give yourself the best. And when you have the best, then you tell somebody else, this is what I can give. This is what I'm bringing to the table. What do you like to bring to the table? And when you know what it's like, who you are, you know what grace is, then when you put on the table something and you know what the other person's putting, whether it suits that journey, whether they will actually support you or hinder you. If you have a partner who doesn't follow you in your journey, then it's a problem. In India, in the old days, because I say the old days because it's getting so modern so fast that a lot of the values, still there's billions of them, millions of them still having the same values. The woman is the head of the home. In terms of she decides everything within the home. Within the social world, the husband is the head. Okay? Because when a woman walks behind her husband, not that she is subservient to the husband, because the husband is the protector. So he moves in front, and the woman, that grace and beauty, she moves behind. She's emotion. She's the one that expresses things. Okay? So she takes the time to come behind him and watch what's happening. And he's the protector that walks in front. It's nothing to do with, oh, you're a woman, you should follow me behind. Something went wrong. So, we are all still here? Good. So the question here is this: we have to find that space within us. We have to find that inner divinity within us. We have to empower ourselves. And this is the only reason why we do mantras. So on Women's Day, Mother's Day, sorry, not Women's Day, Mother's Day, let us celebrate the divinity of motherhood. And to celebrate her divinity, I like Mother Kali, because within every woman, there's Mother Kali. So I'm going to share her mantra. And also, before I share her mantra, we call upon Ganesh to bless all the mothers of the world, remove the obstacles in their path so that they can move towards divinity. And so let's start with Ganesh. Now, we want to bring the sound of Ganesh down to the womb and to the base chakra. So we take all the sounds deep. So we do the Om to the third eye, The rest of the sound, let us take it down as far as we can get. So we got SHRI Klim Glum Gang Ganapadaye Namaha Om SHRI Harim Klim Glum Gang Ganapadaye Namaha Om SHRI Harim Klim Glum Gang Ganapadaye Namaha Om. When I do the mantra that way, I can feel the energy within near my pubic bone. So for a woman, she should feel it in her womb. Now the next goddess that we always want is Mother Kali, because she gets rid of all the demons within us. The 21 skulls that she has around her represent the demons within us. She's the most powerful mother who's always available to her children. She's actually Mother Parvati or Shakti. And within every woman, there's a Kali. And within every man, there is Bhairava. So Bhairava and Kali. Om Krim 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 Harim Harim Hum Dakshani Kalike Krim 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 Harim Harim Hum Swaha Om Krim 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 Harim Harim Hum Swaha Om Krim 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 Harim Harim Hum Dakshani Kalike Krim Krim, 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 Hum, Swaha. So when you do the mantra that way, you find that the whole sound goes to the womb. Okay, for men, it'll go down to the pubic bone. So you strengthen that area of your being. So it's not about, that's why I always, it's not about singing mantras, it's about doing mantras with the right frequency. Now, there was a question last week that sometime I'd say, once I said, okay, you do Kali, Matanji, and Kamlamika in that sequence. That is for people who just want to do only that small amount of mantras. Because that you can either do 2 hours sadhana, you can do 10-minute sadhana. So when the first time I talked about it in the sense that if you find difficult doing sadhana, at least do Kali, Ganesh, Kali, Matanji, and Kamlamika. So that you have Mother Kali that destroys all the demons within you. You have Matanji that gives you inner wisdom, and Kamlamika that gives you inner prosperity. Now, whereas when you want to do a whole sequence of sadhana, which I did last week, where I showed you 3 mantras of each, that went in the sense that, so each time you want to do mantras, you can either do a whole body balancing mantra, which is what I shared last week. So each occasion you can do it how you feel you want to do it. But whatever you do, make sure that Kali is there. Ganesh, Kali, Kamlamika, and Matanji are always there. Because the 3 components, such things that makes you more powerful. And also because when I was talking about the 3 of them, it's basically because I also have a temple in India where the 3 of them are the 3 statues are built because they are very, very important. I know the answer was for you. That's why I'm speaking, because last week I didn't watch the chat, so I didn't answer all of you, and then after that realized that you had a question about that. So this one is for you, Fabian. Now, so it's important that it's not about how many different mantras you do. You can have a practice where you say, okay, I'm going to balance the energy in my whole body. Then you do what you did last week. On the other hand, if you just worship Mother Kali, Matanji and Kamlamika is like worshipping all the 10 wisdom goddesses. You don't have to worship all the 10 wisdom goddesses. You can worship the 3. Or you can be as crazy as I am, because I spend a lot of hours doing it. So I do all of them, because for me, it's also a mental dialogue. So when I do Matanji, I get into the wisdom framework, and I stay within the wisdom. When I do Mother Kali mantra, I feel the power. I feel her power. I feel her destroying the negativity inside of me and making me stronger for it. And when I do Kamlamika, I feel that nice feeling of grace, beauty, inner harmony. So it is important. So the question here is very important in the sense that, do you want inner harmony? Do you want to feel alive? It's important to feel alive, Titiana. It's important to be alive. And to be alive, all you need is yourself, your voice. You don't need any equipment, nothing. You need just your voice. Spend time. It doesn't matter where you're doing it. You can go for a walk doing mantras. You can even sit in the toilet doing mantras. You can cook doing mantras. You can do gardening doing mantras. So it's not a question like you got to sit down. It is also good, very important also to sit down and spend some time, because when you sit on the floor, not on a chair, on the floor, so that your spine, your tripod, you know, your legs, the way you sit, and your bottom has to create a tripod. So the tripod gives you a very, very solid grounded feeling on the floor. And then that can also make you have a straight spine. Even when I'm sitting here doing live stream, when I do the mantras, it's a bit more difficult than when I'm sitting on the floor. Sometimes, if I forget and I scout a bit, then I'm doing mantras and the sound doesn't come out as clearly. So I have to straighten myself. And since we talked about, we're talking about Mother's Day, then that's a good goddess that we can also call upon is Bhuvaneswari. That'll give women that motherly feeling, that power, that grace, that inner beauty. She's the beauty of the three worlds. When we talk about beauty, we're not talking about sexy looking women. We're talking about inner divinity, inner beauty. And when the sculptures of India, they make it look like the other way. Physically, they make her look voluptuous as well. But it's about inner beauty. So with her, it's also very nice. So all her sound got to go between the heart to the womb, okay? So you go, Hrim, Shrim, Hrim, Aim, Bhuvaneswari Swaha. Hrim, Shrim, Hrim, Aim, Bhuvaneswari Swaha. So when you see this mantra, the way I have Hrim, Shrim, Hrim, Aim. The Hrim is for Bhuvaneswari. The Shrim is for Kamalamika. Then the Hrim again is for Bhuvaneswari, and the Aim is for Matanji. So basically it's inner prosperity, inner wisdom, love. So love, inner prosperity, love, inner wisdom. So it's good to have both, because they're all about sound. Whatever you find in the script, in pictures of Matanji, Kamla, Mikas, you find everybody's painting a different picture of them. Okay? The important thing is this: the sound frequency is the one that matters most. The sound frequency is the one that says who you're doing mantra, what energy you want in your body. So when you think in terms of Matanji, you're talking about wisdom. Okay? So you're thinking of wisdom, and the sound is wisdom, for wisdom. Okay, then when you think of Mercury, you can do the same thing. You can do I'm for Mercury, because it's intelligence. Okay, then when you do SHRI, you're talking about joy, grace, beauty. So you're adding joy, grace, beauty, that feeling that will come from doing SHRI, and that wisdom, the inner wisdom that opens up when you do I'm. So that is why, like a lot of time, I like to use. You see, basically, if you look at the books by Frawley or by what's this, Haris Johari, you find that they say, oh, her bija mantra is Hreem. All you have to do is Hreem, Hreem, Hreem. Same thing with Kamlamika. They say Shreem, Shreem, Shreem. So instead of doing 3 Shreems or 2 Shreems and saying Kamlamika's Swaha, I add the I'm and the Hreem in her mantra, where I go Shreem, Hreem, Shreem, I'm Kamlamika Swaha. So in that, I add wisdom, I add what is love as well. And Hreem is not just love. Hreem is also the power of the sun. It's also its strength, power. If you think in terms of Parvati, she is power. From her, she is the mother of creation. Okay, she is Adi Parasakti. So from her comes power, comes wisdom, comes everything. So when you always think about, when you're doing the mantra, not necessarily think of the goddess and all her forms, but think about what the attribute of that sound is. Because everything starts with frequency of sound. When we talk about God, we talk about millions of light frequency sound that travels out of that central thing, central universal force. Each of the frequency has a certain, creates a certain sound, has a meaning, sorry. And each of the meaning has a form. So the form is what is created that we see. The form of Mother Kali, the way Mother Kali looks, how she's described to look like, the way Matanji looks, the way Kamlamika looks. All of them, the looks come from what that mantra does. Like for instance, Chinnamasta, you find that she balances the Ida, Pingala, and Suswimna. Okay? To show that, they show her without the head, that 2 of the Daikanis are drinking her blood, and she's drinking from the Suswimna. So it's a story to show the world so that we can understand and learn from that. So if you want to enjoy, union, inner union with yourself, and only when you have inner union with yourself can you have inner union with a partner. So to get that inner union, you need the concept of Chinnamasta to be ingrained in you when you do the mantras. So each of the Mahavidya goddesses, it's a concept based on the sound, frequency, and what they represent. What the name of the goddess represents, what the sound frequency represents, and what the sound frequency can do for you. So when you read this type of material, don't take it literally and decide, okay, that's how Kali looks and this is how Matanji looks, this is how. It's good if you want to fall in love with them on that visual state as well. So in your mind, it's a romance, okay? All about love. Nothing more than that. So imagine love and sound is the ultimate thing that you want to experience. So have you got any questions? Today I'm more civilized. I'm going to ask you whether you have questions and I can give you answers for that. So, funny. Yes, last week when I didn't look at it, you all had a lot of questions. This week, nobody has questions. Okay, thank you for being here. I shall speak to you all next week again. Namaste. Vanakkam.